Hi guys, this is video 1 for chapter 1. The odds are the chapters are going to have more than one video, so they are not too long. So I will stop it once I am around 10 minutes and then start a new video. This is our first chapter. This is like an addendum to the outline that you have that is already posted. It's basically verbally walking you through some of the major concepts. And the first major concept that we have is scarcity. What is scarcity? Okay. What is it when something is scarce? There isn't enough of it. And if you think of your daily lives, sometimes there isn't enough money, there isn't enough time, there isn't enough food. I mean, if you look around the world, there isn't enough of everything to go around. Not everybody can have access to public transportation. Not everybody can have access to healthcare, even painkillers, right? Why? Well, because there are too many of us and not enough of the other resources sometimes. So scarcity is a state of being. What does it mean right here that it is a state of being? A state of being is something that cannot change, at least not for a very, very long time. Like what? Like the Northeast has nor'easters, right? There's snow that's going to come in winter. It's going to be very cold certain times. This is not going to change in a year or 2 or 5. It's a state of being. Something like aging. We all age. That is a state of being. We are not going to get younger. 10 years from now, we're all going to look older. You know, this is why God made makeup. So scarcity is saying that some things are just the way they are, and we need to figure out who gets it and what happens with it, but that's where economics comes in. So scarcity is the state of being. Notice down here, no amount of money can eliminate it. What does that mean? You can't solve it by simply having more money. So what does money do for you? Let's be realistic. Money kind of puts you ahead of many other people. So money might allow you to be number 500 receiving a service instead of number 50,000 receiving a service. But money cannot buy what isn't there. For instance, you probably were in the city one time. It's late, you're trying to hail a taxi. There's really like no taxis around. You have the money for a taxi, but you can't find a taxi. So you end up walking for half an hour to get home because you just can't find anybody to take you. For instance, I know there's Lyft and Uber, but sometimes even they don't show up depending on where you live. So scarcity is about the fact that money isn't going to give us the water that we are worried isn't really materializing, like the droughts. Now, what money will do is hopefully pay for the science that maybe creates desalination. So maybe we can have more drinking water from the ocean, or wicking humidity out of the air and turning it into purified water to drink. So money can hopefully materialize into some sort of technology that technology maybe can mitigate some of the scarcity, but money will not eliminate scarcity. So scarcity has always been here. Scarcity will always be about one thing or another. What is economics? Economics is the study of scarcity. So some people are going to be able to do something, like these people right here, go on vacation, and some people will not be able to. Economics asks very complex questions. Who's going to get it? When are they going to get it? How much is it going to be? How much of it can they get? For how long can they get it? What is that going to mean as far as what are we sacrificing to materialize all that? And in reality, and I keep saying in reality because this is really the world that we live in. The more you solve certain problems, the more new problems you create. I mean, take technology, for instance. We love it. I love it. It's making me available, it's making me able to make this video for you. It's making this video available for you. But at the same time, it reduces, for instance, human interaction. And so it's creating a problem that wasn't actually there. So these are the things that we have to contend with. So when we say it's the study of scarcity, it's trying to figure out who gets what, when, where, for how long, at what cost. And then you have the weighing the pros and cons of reallocating scarce resources. What does that mean? Well, we have something called marginal analysis, where we look at the benefits and the costs of everything around us, right? And so economics is saying, if we choose this solution, what do we benefit? What do we have to pay for? In what way is it going to harm us, or is it going to deduct from us? And is it still worth it? So it's an evaluation that is going on regularly. And at the end of the day, there are unforeseen consequences, which is why a lot of times we create problems that are unintended, for which we do not have quick solutions. Now, an economy is made up of 4 resources. They are more like resource categories, right? They are land, capital, labor, and entrepreneurship. What is land? Think of land not just as a piece of land, but everything that is renewable resources. What does that mean that it's a renewable resource? It's self-replicating. It is self-duplicating. Take fish in the ocean. They don't need us in any way, shape, or form. So one fish can become 10 and 10 can become 1,000,000, right? Same thing with trees or water. These are the natural resources where if we as human beings suddenly disappear from the face of this earth, they would continue to go forward without us. They have nothing to do with us. So it's not just a piece of land. It's basically your raw materials. That is land. Capital is everything that is man-made and productive. So when we take a resource and we become productive with it, we change it, we alter its purpose, we become resourceful with it, that is actually technology. That's what it means. So when we say capital, we mean your house, your car, the road, the buildings, the satellite dishes, the phones we use, but it also really is, anything, your refrigerator, anything that man took, altered, and made it produce something else. So, for instance, some things are not productive. Like what? Like money. Money is not productive. You can't eat money. If you were stuck on a desert island somewhere by yourself, the last thing you want is a bag of money. You would prefer an airplane, like a helicopter, a boat. If you don't have those things, at least knife, fire, food. Money, what does money do for you? The most it will do is help you make a fire, maybe, right? That's it. Like burn it. It's not productive. So we're looking at things that are productive. Moving money from your checking account to your savings account, not productive. Selling a stock, not productive. There are a bunch of things that they're not productive, and so therefore we don't include them as capital. Now notice land and capital are about inanimate things, not people. People is down here, labor and entrepreneurship. Labor is anybody with a job. And there is no such thing as physical job and mental job. You use your brain and your body in everything. A brain surgeon still has to use his hands, right? A neurologist. A carpenter is using his brain. He may be very talented with his hands, but he has to measure, he has to plan, he has to make things fit a certain way, he has to make things straight. There's a lot of math actually involved in it. There's no such thing as a job where you don't use your brain, or you use just your brain, but you don't use your hands and your legs. And so it's rather silly. Anybody with a job is under labor. There's a group of us, though, who have a job and are doing it, but they are entrepreneurs. They are unique and separated from the rest of us. Why? Because they innovate and they bring progress. Entrepreneurs, listen to this please very carefully, are not business owners. They are not people, because I hear it all the time. People say, I'm an entrepreneur. What they mean is I'm kind of striking out on my own. I'm trying to earn my own income. I'm not working for somebody else. I'm working from home, whatever. That's not entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are people who alter our lives in such a way where we can say, because of them, life has pivoted. So, for instance, when the first chariot that was ever made, right? That was massive, massive progress. From the chariot, you had maybe the horseless carriage, massive progress. Then you had the car. But the car of, the first Ford was not the Model T, isn't a Maserati. There has been a huge progress along the way to get to the Lamborghinis and the Maseratis, etc. So Alexander Graham Bell with the phone, that is a massive innovation progress. He is considered definitely an entrepreneur. But then you have from landlines, you ended up with portable phones. That is a massive jump. Then from portable phones to cell phones, that is another massive jump, right? Those are your entrepreneurs. Okay, this is video 1. I'm going to make now video 2.